Hey everyone, I'm John Sison, and today we're taking a look at the Samyang 50mm F1.4 AF lens for the Sony E-mount system. Now Samyang have released two new autofocusing lenses which are the first of its kind for the Sony E-mount system. Now these two lenses consist of the 14mm f2.8 and the 50mm f1.4, which I have in my hand. Now Samyang are known as a lens manufacturer who specializes in manual focus lenses, so it'll be interesting to see how this new lens performs. Today I have it mounted on my A7R II, so stick around because I'm going to take a look at it and see how well it performs. The Samyang 50mm is constructed of a metal housing with a metal mount, and while it's large, it feels light but somewhat cheap. It might just be me, but I'll let you decide on that if you play around with the lens. It comes with a plastic petal type lens hood and accepts 67mm filters. It's a shame that there is no weather sealing like the Carl Zeiss 50mm F1.4 FE, which I guess is its main competitor, but that lens costs a lot more than the Samyang. Now this lens weighs approximately 558 grams, which isn't too heavy, especially when compared to the Carl Zeiss 50mm F1.4, which weighs about 778 grams. So if you're walking around casually, taking a few snapshots, it isn't a heavy burden to carry around. It's great to see Samyang begin to do autofocusing lenses, and I think it'll make a lot more people look into their range. I have been somewhat impressed with the performance, and while it's quick to focus, I found that it struggled a bit in some situations, even in bright daylight. But for most part it did fine. There's some noise when autofocusing which may annoy some people, and you can hear it in this video. The focus ring is very loose, so manual focus can sometimes be a hit or miss because it's very sensitive. Also, to give you an idea how fast the lens actually focuses, here's a quick test using the 50mm Samyang on the Sony A7R Mark II. Having an f1.4 aperture is great for not only low light photography, but also portraits because it helps blur the background to get that professional look. Using it as a casual walk around lens was pretty fun, and with a minimum focusing distance of 45 centimeters, I was able to get some decent foodie shots as well. Quality wise, the Samyang does a decent job wide open, but stopping down definitely helps you get sharper images at about f2.8. I didn't really experience any vignetting, but shooting wide open at f1.4 gave me some chromatic aberrations, but it wasn't anything too much to worry about as it can be alleviated in post. With the help of the lens hood and coatings on the lens, flare wasn't really an issue, and autofocus blur is smooth without being too distracting with the subject in focus. Now the Samyang 50mm f1.4 is a lens that I sort of have mixed feelings about. Now on the one hand, I do love how it has an f1.4 aperture, and it isn't as expensive or heavy as the Carl Zeiss 50mm f1.4 equivalent. But in terms of design, it doesn't feel as solid as that lens, and it also lacks weather resistance, which may put off a few photographers depending on their shooting style. Now in terms of autofocusing speed, which is one of the main selling points of this lens, it's reasonably fast but tended to hunt in certain situations. Now in terms of image quality, it's pretty good wide open, but it did tend to have some chromatic aberration. In terms of sharpness, it's best to stop down to about f2.8 to really get the best out of the lens. Now, I do feel like this is a good lens if you're more on a budget and if you really wanted the f1.4 aperture. But if you really wanted to get a fast 50mm in the Sony range, the Carl Zeiss 55mm f1.8 to me sounds like one of the best lenses to get. Now, if you have any questions about this lens, or if you already own one, let me know what you think of it, and you can leave a comment down below. And if you haven't already, click subscribe to check out more Samyang videos and tutorials. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram for more sample photos and photo updates. Now until then, happy shooting and thanks for watching.